Hello and welcome back to Steel Division 2 and yet another 1v1 game. I'm playing 5th Panzer again, just showing you my deck, and I think I will be changing something about it soon, but this is with what I played. I went through it last time, so I don't think there's anything much to explain. Basically relies on a lot of infantry play. I try to keep air superiority, although 8 planes is not really much, but some good AA in here, so you can count on that. And that's about it, I would say, and I'll see you in the game. So, welcome back. I'm playing 5th Panzer, Maverick. He's playing 2nd Guards. I think this is balanced. So, while we're waiting for the deployment, I want to talk about the state of the game and the beta, a bit at least. I feel, I don't want to spoil too much, but I feel like this matchup of divisions is kinda not really ideal, because especially 2nd Guards has problems with standing up to German armor, I feel. AT guns are, well, I wouldn't say, well, I could say they're not effective enough, especially at extreme ranges where people usually use them, so that is a problem, and I feel like 5th Panzer has a good chance of keeping air superiority as well, especially against other armored divisions, so that's what I think, but it's a very interesting game and you'll see how it goes. So, deployment wise, let's look at my side first. I'm gonna try to cut off the zoom. I don't want to zoom too much, people are complaining about that. So, I'm deploying storm pios, recon and other things. I just want to have my troops in this area and block him off. Don't want to go for this village. I do buy some flamethrowers that I try to sneak in just in case he's not going for it, but yeah. Otherwise, I want to take this village, so this whole area, basically to this line, is what I usually go for. So this people usually don't attack here, so I usually leave just one. There's a lot of good infantry here with an AT weapon, so if he tries to drive through here, he gets wrecked. This is a good position, especially for the Soviets here. My opponent always seems to use it better than I do. But yeah, I usually just put a tank AT gun here and such stuff. So now I deployed some more troops. As you can see, tank, recon, infantry squad, it's all gonna go here. Over here we have an MG, 2 Panzer Grants and an Aufklärer, so they will be taking this village over here. And yes, now I'm just waiting for, we can speed it up a bit I think, or maybe not, I should look at his deployment. So I have some infantry here and I will be getting more infantry, and I think the Panther, yes there he is, Aufklärer Panther. Usually on this map there's not really a too good position for him, at least I don't seem to find it, but he can support your pushes. I tried putting him here so he can like block this whole area off, but I seem to lose him to AT guns immediately. And yeah. The problem is he doesn't really outright die, or German tanks don't really die to AT guns that much, they just get turret stuck, crits and all these things, and due to the nature of my deck I don't have repair trucks until B. My opponent is a slow deployer. I think he's the first guy I saw that is doing the same thing as I did. At least on replay, when I watch the replays, he just gives orders immediately while deploying. That's totally okay, but it takes some time for him to do it. So he has like he has an 80 gun, Maxim, infantry squad, I don't know which infantry that is, PTRS infantry, and another Maxim. 3 tanks coming in, so these are T-34-76 command tank and 2 T-30-76 normal tanks. I speed it up a bit, just so it takes a lot of time for him to deploy, I think. So as you can see, more infantry here, a very strong push in this area. Over here he didn't even put anything down yet, so you can really see where his priorities lie, so to say. Here we go, he's getting some infantry over here. These Tanko Desantniki are really good troops when someone is fighting me, but I have no idea how to use them. The transport can actually be pretty useful, but Again, mostly in forest fighting, I feel you shouldn't leave it out somewhere in the open. So PTRS guards, and here we go, so let's slow it down a bit. Let's see his deployment first. So as you can see, very aggressive deployment in this area, something people don't usually expect on this map, and I didn't either. Over here, conservative deployment with a bit of, I don't know, of a push here. I think it's with the PTRS, so he can snipe incoming troops. Probably works for him pretty well if someone is using slower transports, but I'm using fast transport, so I usually get there as fast as he does. Or here, just another conservative deployment, I would say. PTRS are trying to get there, do the same thing. Town secured by 3, oh no, Maxim, AT gun and infantry, some more infantry guards. So the usual. Over here, I did this, so these are the flamethrowers trying to get in, but yeah. Nothing much here. I'm trying a new strat out where I put my recon unit here and try to keep it hidden so I can spot more stuff, but he doesn't really get there since he's attacking through this lane. Or here, nothing special. Trying to take these positions is always important. I have the tank coming, and here we have my major push. It's not really by how much troops I'm putting into it, but what troops I'm putting into it. You can usually tell where the enemy is kind of planning their main push. I'm gonna go slower if I can. So you can usually tell by what troops are there. So if the Panther is there, that means, well, that I'm pushing there. Okay, first engagements. Let's go to 1. First engagement here, flamethrowers against PTRS, Maxim. Trying to get to the forest here. But yeah, that's not a good engagement for either of us here. Here we go. Flames are burning, but this is the important engagement. He manages to get into the village here. Surrenders my troops. I have 2 MGs or a P-Gran and an MG42 waiting. I'm trying to get into this point here, but P-Grans run into resistance. They'll probably be taken out or surrendered by the Maxim. I take this objective. Over here we don't have much happening, it's just the tank moves into position and that's about it. So this is the main area where he pushes. You can see his tanks. Flamethrowers clearing up this area. But yes, I don't feel like pushing into the village right now, so I just try to flank around. In this little town, he has the upper hand, of course. Many troops here, infantry guns supporting from the hill, which is really good. P-Grans running away, can't really do much, especially being shot by these things. I move in a Tiger, trying to stabilize this region over here. And this Tiger, man, just watch it. So he's just pushing me out of the village. The MG42 has some time to take some enemy troops out, but is unable to do anything against these transport and the tanks that are coming in, so this village is basically lost. 14-10 for my opponent. Panther, I decided, since I see so many of his troops here, I decide to push over here. So you see my troops are moving forward, trying to gain these strategic areas and this objective if I can do it. And this is one of the rare times where I actually decide to do this, and I think it was the right call, because your enemy can't be everywhere on the map. He can, but not in force. I've been playing with this 105mm RD piece in phase A, but it really didn't... I'm not really happy with it, to be honest. It's not accurate. It might be good against like groups of infantry, but otherwise it's not really that good. So, village is basically lost. I have a P-Gran squad just holding out here. They don't have an AT weapon, so they won't be able to stand up to any of these things if they decide to roll into the village. Otherwise here, I'm trying to keep this area under my control, but too much enemy infantry around. 14-10 still. The push on the right side is going good since he doesn't really have much troops around. I will move my Panther in here just to clear this out because there are no dedicated AT weapons. I lose the P4 recon. I think I tried to move him somewhere around here just to, I don't know, do what, but I think it was the P4 that was over here actually. So, counter-attack, first counter-attack to this village, 3 flamethrowers and a Tiger. Of course, immediately met with heavy MG fire. Tiger moves forward, starts shooting the MG, which isn't really ideal. And there we go, shooter killed immediately by the 45mm AT gun. And this Tiger is taking a lot of punishment. I decide to move him back. He has transmission damage now. So yes, as you can see, German tanks, especially on these ranges, don't really get destroyed, but they get these crits. So I'm trying to get through here, but it's easier said than done. I find it especially funny when a transport like this eats an AP shell on this range and stays alive, but well, it's a game after all. My opponent decides to react with a 57mm and 2 tanks of his own, which is probably the right call here. Tiger E, some troops get taken out before dismounting. I'm moving P-Grains in, trying to get this area back, but there are a lot of enemy troops. On the left, I have multiple Panzer Grenadier squads trying to push their way into this village, but I underestimate the enemy strength around here. 14-10 still. At this pace, I'm gonna lose in 20 minutes. Panther gets turret stuck, which basically means he's dead. He gets critted by the 57 and the 2 enemy tanks. Since I lost some of my infantry around here, his area of influence is taking up this objective, so I'm even losing more points right now. So basically the situation right now is I'm losing heavily. I decide to push with my Tiger again, trying to take out some of these tanks that he moved forward. So Tiger shoots, misses, although he bounces the enemy shot. Second shot, bounce. There we go, transmission damage, good crit. And I imagine how the Soviets feel shooting at this thing. This is how I feel shooting at an IS-2 with inferior AT guns. So there we go, Tiger clears up the enemy tank, shoots the Maxim. I'm starting to move in my planes to take care of some of these infantry guns and AT guns that he's been showing all game. And I think the first major mistake of the game when it comes to, well, I made a lot of mistakes already, but to my opponent he has been doing very good up until now, but he decides to let me use these planes a lot without actually trying to stop them. So that is a bad move. Air superiority is always bad. Bad for your opponent, of course. It's good for you. And Tiger again taking 1,000 shots, bouncing everything. Here we go. All kinds of crits on that thing, but it stays alive. And it retreats into the forest. So what I was saying, you shouldn't let your enemy strafe like this. It seems like it's not doing too much damage, but surgical strikes with planes on AT guns and infantry guns and all these deployable weapons are really strong because you don't get much of these. And especially with these planes, with the Focke-Wulf 190, it takes out these AT guns and infantry guns really fast. Otherwise, 13-11, I gained one objective, still heavily losing. He is parking in front here, trying to take this Tiger out, but that thing just won't die. But it is being shot by really inferior Soviet tanks, so 100 pen on all these things, and the Tiger has 125 front armor, so... Over here, the Panther gets taken out because, of course, well, turret stuck, nothing he could do. I had a squad of flamethrowers here which stopped the enemy advance, and he just sits around. And I think he could have pushed through here without much problems, but I'm moving in an MG just to secure this area. He is heavily focusing on this area over here, so that is pretty clear. My planes are still uncontested in the skies, and I concentrate on panicking his tanks and taking out some of these transports, AT guns when I see them. Tiger is still falling back, transmission damage. And as I've said before, due to the nature of my deck, I don't have repair trucks until phase B. Tiger gets back, just losing his little panic bar here. Pigran's in the open, I don't know, don't ask. So he seems content with just defending on this side and trying to push through this village. He moves in some 37mm AA of the Soviets, but I feel like that is really inferior AA. I didn't see it perform as well as some of the AA that Germans have. And general situation on the front line. Soviets have pushed through multiple fronts. 13 objectives under their control, 11 under my. Phase B has hit, I think, or it will hit very soon, I'm not sure. 10 minutes it is, right? So P4 moving in here just to have something on that side. P4 moving to support the Tiger, and Tiger moving over here. Arting all my infantry up here. The Tiger gets in again, starts shooting. Side damage on that T-34 Commander. AT gun is shooting, only 45mm though. Tiger shoots back. I think, yes, I move in an ME-410 to take out the AT gun. Here we go. Gets strafed, pinned down. It's basically done, another shot by the Tiger, and that's it. Su-76 are now on the field, bombarding my stuff. AT gun gets taken out. Over here, Tanko Desadniki are just sitting around, some sappers. I have some flames here. So basically, my flanks are not really too secure. He tries to do something here, I'm not sure. I think he just moved the guards forward a bit. And yes, he starts shooting with the tanks. Tiger coming in. And this Tiger again gets panic, transmission damage, all sorts of crits. He gets impatient, moves in. His T-34 is trying to kill that thing, but that thing won't die. Miss, miss. And P4 coming in. And now it's out of sight. I'm trying to hit the enemy RD with my own RD, but that doesn't work. Tiger gets back. Starts shooting. I think he killed the commander already. And P4 gets into support. Tiger over here, getting some good shots on the infantry, I think. The MG is supporting as well. This is a bad area for infantry to advance, because when they peek they get MG'd to death immediately. Here we go. 2 MG-42s, no joke, especially that 2 Pigrans. And the Tiger covering the road up there. Very nice position for a Tiger here. Because there's basically nothing these T-34s can do on this range. Again, just trying to creep forward with my tanks here, but meeting heavy resistance, especially by this AT gun. The die will strafe out very soon, I think. My troops are holding. Tiger is still blocking the whole road over here, blocking his reinforcements. So really good positioning here for a Tiger. Or another tank that is good at sniping at these ranges, like a Panther. Tiger E decides to get into an engagement with the AT gun now. He's bouncing again, shooter knockout, but the P4 is here. My plane pins the enemy AT gun, gets lost in the process I think, but still worth it, and my tank shoot back. There we go, AT guns taken out. On the left side, Tanko Destatniki pushing through, taking this objective, 40 intent for my enemy. And I start massing up a tank force over here. Basically, Tiger Führers, Gepard AA, P4s, and better AA. Flak Fiedling AA. So, phase B is my phase, so to say. I've ate 180 points income in phase B to his 140, so... Although the problem is, I really don't have much of an income in C. Now I'm trying to move some of my infantry in just to take care of these guys over here, but easier said than done. I tried to move my P4 to support, but I'm getting pinned by these Su-76s up there. I decided it's not worth it to push now, since I'm using my points to amass this force over here. So I think this is the last push, yeah. I still decide to push, but we'll see what happens, I guess. His plane is just going around, not really doing much. He should have used it to strafe some of my stuff. So, over here we have two Sturm pilots and a commander moving in. This engagement went very badly for me, I can say already, because I think with more micro or better micro I could have taken it, but these Tanko Desadniki are no joke. Really, even against flame infantry, these guys hold their own. As you can see, they kill them. Yeah, they just kill them. And he has these transports which are really good just to move in and support. On the right, nothing much is happening. Tiger is covering the road. As you can see, the road is starting to look like this now. So, good job by the Tiger. I lose this engagement, and then I think I do decide to move in more infantry just to block these forests. Over here, the main engagement is starting, or my main attack. This consists of 3 P4s, Panther, and a Tiger. And some AA. I have the Recon P4 moving in, some more Tigers, and we're just moving through now. I have to be honest, I sometimes feel like this strat is cheap, if you could call it that, because it's just blobbing a lot of tanks in AA and moving forward, but on the other hand, when I realize how easy it is to counter, especially if you have air superiority or if you have rocket RT, I don't think it's a viable strategy if you have air superiority or if the enemy isn't showing too much rocket RT, but one dedicated Katyusha barrage can do a lot of damage to stuff like this. So the first thing I decide is to move to this position, and I'm moving in more infantry, as you can see. I think this is a misclick. I didn't want the Sturm pilots there. I wanted them in the village. And I don't like to spend too much time shooting at enemy infantry, but I decided it's okay because I don't see much of tanks or anything happening. So from this side he's moving in 3 T-34-85, so 180 pen on these things. Some of his infantry starts shooting, gets taken out by my AA, and I push in a lot of infantry trying to take these places. In the right, I'm just securing this area, nothing much is happening, so he now realizes that this is a major push. I think he sees all of this. Yes, he does. And that means that he will be moving more forces in. He tries to move in a bomber, and this is what happens. I don't even need my planes to take it out, because this German AA is just insane. Like, there we go. Didn't even drop his cargo. Over here we're just moving in with Sturm Pios and P-Grants in the back. He didn't really expect an attack from this side, so there's not much competition. I'm moving in my Focke-Wulf to try to take out the bomber. And he moves in some fighter planes, but they will get shredded by my AA immediately. 3 T-34s moving in now to this position, so he's trying to peek, I think, from this forest and take out some of my tanks. And now we're starting to gain major territory here. There's nothing he can really do about it. These T-34s can stand up. 57mm needs some good shots to take it out immediately. AA supporting from the back. So a good push, I would say. He's moving in a lot of planes, and this is a bad idea because this is where he definitely loses air superiority. He's trying to take out my fighter planes, which I don't really care about as long as I have these Flak Fearlings, because they will allow me to push uncontested. So here we go, T-34 starting an engagement with a Panther. Tiger's moving in, gets taken out by the Panther immediately. Still moving forward. His RT now shooting at the village over here. I've pushed a lot of infantry in here, maybe too much, but still. I have a lot of points in this phase, so I can do it. 14-10 for me now. So on the other hand, nothing is happening over here. He's just trying to contain my push, which is understandable. A good idea here, he's waiting and he's trying to just push out his T-34s when my tanks pass, getting side shots. But German tanks, you know, it's not really easy to take them out even with a side shot. You're much more likely to get a crit of some sort. My planes are not really doing much, he's chasing them around, but I have a lot of AA on the field now, so I don't worry. And here we go, peek by the two T-34s. Get driver killed, crit. Tracks broken over here. Second shot by the Panther. Takes out the enemy T-34. Turret stock crit though, so that means this guy is out of the fight for now. Again, pushing with all I've got here. I don't really have time to play around. 15-9 for me. Second try. The Panther can't shoot because it's the same angle, I think, so he gets a shot off, kills the enemy T-34. Over here, nothing much is happening, just some AA moving in. This is some AA as well, but this is just an MG on the truck, so not really too good at taking out enemy planes. And 16-8 now. I'm just slowly creeping forward with all my forces. Trying to cover them as much as I can, but there's really nothing smart about this. It's just pushing a concentrated force of tanks into an enemy weak spot, and this was his weak spot, I think, since he concentrated heavily on this area. So now his troops are just like standing there. He can't really decide, I don't know, he can't really use them over here, so that's the problem. I strafe out the ZIS. AA guns working, as you can see, taking out enemy planes left and right. In hindsight, he really had a lot of them. Now, this AT gun can shoot until they really get up this edge, so makes it basically not really useful. It's shooting at the Panther G, which has the turret stuck, and I'm just leaving it there because it won't do much. I try to move in an Opal Blitz, but I don't think it happens. Over here I'm getting shot by an enemy AT gun again. Tiger is there, we'll take it out. And we get up this edge. So 17-7 now. He is strongest in phase C, so I guess that's something I need to think about in this moment. He is strong in phase B as well, but phase C is the main problem. It's not Juggernaut, but it's balanced. And now my tanks taking control of this strategic area, which is basically the most important position, I would say, over here. 18-6. So let's look sideways. As you can see, big push through here, gaining a lot of ground. He still controls a lot on the flanks. So tanks now moving in, shooting at enemy reinforcements, as you can see. This is a good position, has a lot of line of sight. AT gun won't do much, gets immediately shut down by so many tanks. He starts shooting over the forest with his Su-76s, which is a good idea, of course. Rocket RT would be even better. I decide to move in my P4, trying to take out these guys. But I underestimate this Su-76. It has enough pen to deal with these things. And now 3 new T-34s are moving in. We go bailed out immediately by the Su-76. Bad move by me. Let's turn it around like this, I would say. So, main engagement over here. He is posting his T-34s in this forest because he's waiting for me to come around, which I will. Just some sporadic fighting over here, not much, but here is the main thing. So T-34's waiting over here for the Tiger to peek. Tiger Führer gets out first, I think. No, not yet. Still shooting with more RE. If he had rocket RE, he could have destroyed all of this stuff in one barrage if he got lucky. 18-6 still. My main mistake in this game was not getting more RD and not this RD, but like Hummels, and shooting at this stuff here. I think I'm gonna remove these guys from my deck. So here we go, immediately armor crack. Vet 2 T-34 85's, gotta respect that. And I start to respect it, I move back. He realizes my push has run out of steam and he is moving in more infantry just to keep me back. Plane's not really doing much, just flying around. We go, moving in more tanks on this road, trying to move down, gain this objective. Tiger is here. 3 minutes left for him if this continues, so 18-6. Storm pilots get taken out by the enemy RD and the guards, of course. T-34-85's just shredding my tanks here. I'm trying to move back into the forest and just hold what I've gained. On the left side, we have enemy forces moving down this road, but the Tiger is covering, as you can see. So Tiger immediately getting a shot. Shot 1. Infantry down. Shot 2. Infantry squad almost. I think Tiger immediately switches targets to T-34s when they move in line. Second shot. Missing. Over here nothing much is happening. I retreated into the forest. He's trying to move in bombers. My AA is good enough to keep him off. He regains one of the objectives, 17-7. Tiger is still fighting these T-34s. Takes out an enemy T-34. This road is starting to look like a graveyard. So Tiger is still fighting. On this range there's not really much this T-34 can do, so it will get taken out. A lot of enemy forces advancing here. I'm trying to keep them back, just have 2 P4s left. I am moving in some tanks, but mostly just to stabilize the area, not to do anything else. I have an engagement over here trying to regain this area, but there's too much enemy infantry around. Tiger is here. I'm trying to hunt down these transports with the Tiger. He's trying to run away. So these Tanko Desatniki can't really do much, but there are sappers moving in and they will take out the Tiger with the Faust. ISU 152 moving in. I have no idea why. This thing doesn't even have AP shells. I do remember having read that it, in the real war, that it took out enemy tanks just with 8 AG shells because they were so strong, but I don't know if that works in Steel Division. He's advancing with the T-34s. I decide that's really bad for me. Over here I'm losing the engagement again. Sappers are moving. He's smoking up. Good idea. Here we go. One tank gets taken out by the P4. There we go. ISU 152, trying to do something, I'm not sure what. Tiger is here, I don't know if he'll get a shot. I think he might. 18 to 6. My opponent is still pushing. These tanks will get taken out. No way they can stand up to these T-34s. Over here, Tiger E gets bailed out. ISU moving down the road. Yes, well, not really, but I think it's the hunt command. Now he decides to move him down the road for some reason. So this thing, really a beast. Tiger will get a shot soon, so let's see how this works out. Tiger loading up. Misses, ISU. Well, that's a big explosion. Transmission damage. This thing has a lot of armor as well, basically as much front armor as the Tiger. Bailed out, it's done. So over here I'm using my planes just to keep him back as much as possible. I do a second push here with some P-Grants, and I think this one is successful. Oh, there are Storm Powers here as well. Just keeping him back, letting the clock tick, 17 to 7. P-Grants moving forward. And a minute left for him. I'm actually surprised these guys managed to hold out this long, but the planes are supporting, just panicking his stuff as much as possible. 20 seconds left because I took this objective. And that's the game, I would say. So, another armored push, pretty successful, I would say. GG to my opponent. Was a good game. I think if that push failed, that was basically the last thing I had when it comes to winning this game. So there you go. Let's look at the kills. It says major defeat because it's for some reason thinks I'm playing Soviets. So on his side, when it comes to kills, Tanko Desadniki doing good, killing a lot of infantry. Zis killing a lot of stuff. 2 Tigers here. These T-34s, these are the T-34s at the end, doing a lot of damage to my armor. When it comes to losses, P-Grants doing some good damage. Tiger E taking out some enemy troops, even 280 guns. Focke-Wulf destroying infantry gun, AT gun, 2 transport AT gun and an enemy plane. Tiger E, Vet 1 destroying a lot of tanks and infantry, and the ISU. This was the one blocking the road. And otherwise, nothing too impressive. Tigers doing some damage. P4 taking out some guards and an AA piece, but I think that's about it. So, interesting game. Still think the Soviet divisions need some tweaking when it comes to them standing up to German armor. But yes, well, we'll see how it goes. So thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, you know how it goes, and I'll see you next time with more Steel Division. Have a good one.